What's going on, man? It's your boy Jay Holley back with another episode with Unfiltered with Jesse Holley, episode 17. Woo! Woo! We cranking these things out, man. Thank you. You are all far too kind. You could have been anywhere in the world, but I'm so glad you are here with me. I am Jesse Holley, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People, feel me when I speak, man. And you guys know what you got to do. Like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. But we got a jam-packed show today. It's going to be live. It's going to be Cowboys preview. It's going to be some NBA stuff. It's going to be some NFL stuff. Some business decisions we'll talk about today. But first, y'all know how I like to get down. I like to give my positivity at the top because, let's be honest, some of y'all might not make it to the end. And that's okay. I am not for everybody, but at least listen for like 12 to 15 minutes. I guarantee if you listen to 12, 15 minutes, at least 3 times, 3 different shows, pick whatever shows you want, you'll be hooked. I kind of have that infectious personality. You listen to me 3 times for at least 12 to 15 minutes, you will be hooked on Unfiltered with Jesse Holley. All right, but off the top, man, I want to give you guys a little bit of motivation, a little bit of positivity to start this show out because I don't know what you all been through today. When you get a chance to look at this, you might need this little bit of word of encouragement. And my word of positivity is this. The great John Wooden said, when opportunity presents itself, it's too late for preparation. When opportunity presents itself, it's too late for preparation. Whatever the thing is, and I always say that whatever that thing is, I don't know you, you don't know me, I don't know what that thing is in your life. Prepare for it today and tomorrow. Success is when opportunity and preparation meet. That's when you have success. So you can't be wanting and dreaming and whining and crying about opportunities presenting themselves and you're not prepared for when they come. That door won't open twice. That phone call won't be returned. When you are presented with an opportunity, your toolbox should be geared up and ready to go. I remember my time out of football, and I'm working security, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm working security at night from 11 at night to 7 in the morning, but there was a portion of that from 7:30 to 9:30, I trained, and then I went to work for T-Mobile from 10 to 3, but from 7:30 to 9:30 every single day. My phone's not ringing. My agent's not giving me a phone call back. We have no answers. I'm low on money, but every single day from 7:30 to 9:30, I trained as if the phone was going to ring. I didn't know when. I didn't know who. I didn't know how. But there was a belief in me that something was going to shake. There was a belief in me that the opportunity was going to present itself. And so I prepared every single day, worked all night long. I took naps sometimes too while I was on a job. Don't tell nobody. But from 7:30 to 9:30, I trained. I worked out. And I worked out in this crusty old gym. Me and my roommate, shout out to my best friend Kareem Taylor. We worked out in this gym. It wasn't Goals, it wasn't Planet Fit. It was a rusty, crusty old gym. It looked like a gym that all the big gyms who had broken equipment that they wanted to throw away or get rid of sent it to this place. It was a lot of duct tape on the benches. The foam was coming out of some of the equipment. The cable wires were like about to break. But that's all I could afford. The membership was like $10 a month. And I mean, it was some old guys who had some old bandages. I had some old Army veterans, some old Vietnam vets. It was crusty in there. But I knew that my opportunity was going to come. Didn't know when, didn't know how, didn't know from where. But I trained, I prepared every single day. And then the call came from 4th and Long, and I remember telling my brother, I won't lose. I will not lose. Because that opportunity only came once in a lifetime, literally. There's never been an episode or season 2 of 4th and Long. Now, what if I was there and I wasn't in shape and I got hurt? What if I was there and I wasn't ready for that moment and it passed me by? Would I have ever got another opportunity again? I don't know. But I tell you this, I wasn't going to allow myself not to be ready for when that opportunity presents itself. So when opportunity presents itself, it is too late for preparation. Do the work now so that you can enjoy the success later. All right? No doubt. All right, let's get into this thing, man. Cowboys, Patriots. Going down this Sunday at AT&T, welcome back Ezekiel Elliott. He's coming back home. He's still considered Dallas his home, but he's in a different uniform now, and some things have to go down. But the thing I looked at first for the Cowboys is the injury report is important this week. I came in here last week and I had to eat crow because I said all the things that the Cardinals are this, the Cardinals are that. And then as the week went on, and it was Tyler Biadasz may not play, and Zach Martin may not play. And then Saturday afternoon, it was, wait a second, Tyron Smith, knee injury. He ended up not playing. So you take two potential Hall of Famers, and when I say potential, I mean on the positive side of potential, and then you take a really good player who was a Pro Bowler last year in Tyler Biadasz, and they're out of the lineup. And then the defense doesn't show up the way they're supposed to show up. And that's how you lose to a team in the Cardinals who I don't think is better than the Cowboys, but you only got to be better one time. And they were better on Sunday than the Cowboys. Cowboys taking on Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, and you know for a fact, if the Patriots are nothing else, if they are nothing else, they're No, they're not cheaters. They're prepared. They're prepared. Every I will be dotted. Every T will be crossed. If they can find an advantage, they will. If they see tendencies, they will attack them. If they see holes in your offense or defense, they will try to exploit them. That is the MO of who Bill Belichick is. I got a chance to have a cup of coffee in New England, and I got a chance to see how they operate inside that building. They're very litigious in their preparation. They're very methodical. They're very. You remember the mantra, do your job? They live by that. And they play that way. No one's trying to do something other than what they're asked to do. That is a Bill Belichick staple. He wants to make sure that, hey, if you can rush the passer on the left-hand side in the A-gap, that's what you'll do. And you'll do it at a level of succession over and over and over again, and that'll be your role. No, I don't need you to drop back in the coverage. It's not what you're good at. And he's always going to find those players to do just that. Tough, smart, disciplined players. Those are always the players that are going to be on the Bill Belichick team. Versatile, who want to learn. It's very interesting when I looked at the defense for the Patriots, because I always want to start there because Bill Belichick, he's a defensive guy. And so I looked there first, and the first thing I noticed was there is no defensive coordinator in New England. Hadn't been a defensive coordinator since 2017. They take turns. His son takes a shot at it one week. Gerard Mayo takes a shot. So you're getting different looks. The base is the same, 3-4 defense. They're going to play some single high coverage. And one thing that's always a staple in Bill Belichick's defense is he's always going to have a good rusher. Always. Always going to have a good pass rusher. Sometimes he has two, but he's always going to have at least one. And he's always going to have versatile, smart, and talented DBs. And he has one. The Gonzalez kid, rookie, this kid is tough. This kid is good. What I noticed on the Patriots defense was if they have a single digit, they're good. All the single digit players on the defense for the Patriots are good. Number 2 is the Mills kid, played at Philadelphia. He's there. Number 6 is the Gonzalez kid. Number 8 is the Bentley. He's the linebacker. He is a thumper. He wants all the smoke and all the contact that he can get. He is a thumper. Matthew Judon, number 9. All these guys are good. Jabril Peppers. Jabril Peppers, an interesting story about Jabril Peppers. When he first came into the league, it was kind of like, oh man, we don't really know what to play Jabril Peppers. Is he safety? Is he corner? Is he linebacker? And then the league kind of changed, and it changed in his favor because more teams now are going to, they call it different things now. When I played, they call it the buck. They call it the star. They call it different things now. Big nickel, big dime, where these safeties that are ready to tackle and hit, they play more in the box. Jabril Peppers is that. The one thing I know that this defensive front will do, they're going to be assignment alignment sound. They're not trying to see where the Cowboys got off track last week on their defensive side of things. You had guys trying to do things that they shouldn't be doing. That's kind of almost it's a gift and a curse when you chase sacks, because now guys, instead of fitting up where they're supposed to fit and just be fat and clog the holes up. They want to swim move and jump out of holes, and guys just block you out of the way. Now they just create running lanes for the tune of 223 yards rushing by the Arizona Cardinals. The Patriots defenders, they don't do that. They're going to play their gaps. They're going to sit there and fight with you and maul with you, but they're going to be right there. They're not necessarily always trying to push the pocket back, but you're not going to push them back. And they want to keep their linebackers clean. So it's going to be one of these games where I hope that we get some of our offensive linemen back for the Cowboys, because it's going to be imperative that the communication is there. Because Bill Belichick and this defense are going to give you legitimately 25 different looks. Depending on down, depending on distance, depending on where you're at in the field, you're going to get a bunch. You're going to get man coverage. You're going to get shell coverage, cover 2, cover 4. You're going to get cover 3. You're going to get man-to-man coverage. You're going to get blitz. You're going to get a bunch of different looks from this Belichick, I say led defense, because he's a mastermind behind it. But it's going to be interesting. Now, on the Cowboys' offensive side, I know what everyone wants to talk about. Red zone, red zone, red zone, red zone, red zone, and you are correct. The Cowboys they have to. It is extremely, extremely necessary that they get better in the red zone. This league is far too difficult to win in kicking field goals. It is. Especially when you have 5 and 6 trips to the red zone, you got to come out of there with more than one touchdown. And that's an everybody thing, okay? That's not only a Dak Prescott thing. That's a CeeDee Lamb thing. That's a Brandon Cooks thing. That's an offensive line thing. That's a tight end thing. That's a running back thing. That's a coaching thing. That's a scheme thing. That's a play design thing. That's a play calling thing. Everybody is the culprit of blame for the lack of success last game against the Cardinals in the red zone. Everybody had a part. The good thing is that you can change it. Now, not having 3 offensive linemen, and I am not the one that's going to be here giving excuses about anything, but what's fact is fact. You lose two All-Pros, 2 future Hall of Famers, and a Pro Bowler on your offensive line. There's a portion of the playbook that kind of goes, it gets bundled up. You can't even use it. You got to throw it out. Because guys don't have enough reps. I mean, they brought these guys up from the practice squad. They're not getting enough reps in practice to run certain things. So some of the stuff you don't even feel comfortable calling because the guys haven't had a chance to see it, run it, rep it, execute it, anything. So a large majority of what you wanted to call probably was taken out. And for the fans, for the barbershop argument fans, it's always, the Cowboys need to go deep. The Cowboys need to draw up more plays where they're throwing the ball down the field. Okay. But then you turn on the film. And what do you see? You see teams running cover 2s, 2 high safeties. Like, you complain about Dak throwing interceptions. You try to dial up these passes down the field, and you got 2 high safeties, and it'll be a Zach Wilson situation. It'll be interceptions all over the place. So there are times when you talk football that when teams give you a box to run in, meaning the box inside where in between the 2 tackles or tight ends if they're in the game, if that box is light, if I got more players to block than they have to cover, I'm going to run the football. And when teams are playing off covers and 2 high safeties, that is a box that most teams want to run in. And the Cowboys had success running it. Tony Pollard had over 100 yards. The team ran for over 185 yards last game. You want that, over 5 yards a carry. That's a success. Dak threw for 250 yards. Now, he had the bad interception at the end of the game. But when you talk about throwing the ball deep and throwing the ball down the field for these big chunk plays, that's barbershop. That's barbershop argument, guys. That is barbershop argument. When you turn on the film and you watch the tape, you're going to see that, one, they did dial up some of them. But guess what? When you look down there, you're going, wait, yeah, we're running guys on deeper routes, but there are also guys down there that's going to intercept the football. So we can't throw the ball just because for throwing the ball down the field's sake. That's not how this league works. And so you have to take what the defense gives you and then wait for that moment where they are single high or you have that moment. And when the Cowboys did, they were successful in taking some shots. Michael Gallup had some shots in that last game. In this game, they'll have some opportunities. The young kid Gonzalez, guess what? He will most likely, and this is from Mike McCarthy, he most likely will be shadowing CeeDee Lamb. Take it for what it's worth. I've always said, experienced receiver versus rookie cornerback, I like my chances. But what CeeDee's going to show up? Is the grumpy, pouting, lackluster effort CeeDee's going to show up? Or the guy who I think is getting ready to bust the door open and be in that elite status going to show up? I'm not a mind reader. I'm not Miss Cleo. If I was, I would have got those Powerball numbers a long time ago. This podcast would be different. It would be a different podcast. This podcast would be like I'll be eating food on here on a resort island somewhere, surrounded by people who don't speak English. That's why God's never gonna let me win like the lotto. I don't play the lotto, but that's why God's not gonna let me win the lotto. Because when I tell y'all I'm disappearing, y'all will never see me. I'm literally a remote island. They won't speak English. My diet will consist of freshly cut fruit daily and seafood. That's it. I'll be like Lenny Kravitz. I'll wear jeans and no sneakers. I have my bare feet and shades. Like that's where I would be. But that's neither here nor there. But until then, I'm rocking with y'all. We here. We outside. We outside. Like, subscribe, do what you do so I can get to the island, at least for a vacation. At least help me get there for a vacation. I'll come back. But, for me, offensively, the Cowboys, they do have to have a better showing in the red zone. There's no doubt about that, guys. I won't sit here and come here and try to pull the wool over your eyes and say, everything is... No, you have to get better. And everyone knows that. They know that. I know that. Coaches know that. Y'all know that. And I think they're going to get there. I think that's coming. I don't think they're far off from it. And a loss like last week it's kind of like smelling salt. Like everybody's like, okay, all right, let's. I know it's early in the year, but let's refocus. Let's relock back in. Let's get where we need to get to in this situation. And I think the offense, and I know people saying, well, we need more running like Zeke. Now, listen, guys, physicality is physicality. Look across the league. There are backs that are smaller than Zeke who can run just as hard. Like, I know Zeke is and there's no knock against Zeke. What he did for his time with the Cowboys was exceptional. But Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle are doing just fine. We got to just get better. The Cowboys just have to get better in the red zone. I think they will. I'm not saying they're going to score 40 points this week. I'm not saying that they're not. Dak has had a lot of success against the Patriots. So it can happen. It can definitely happen, but getting to the red zone, it's a different space. You don't have, you get into the red zone, you don't have the rest of the field. That end zone ends. So you're playing against the end zone. That's the defense 12th man. The space is condensed. And one thing about this West Coast offense is, and you heard Mike talk about it, Freaky Mike, you heard Dak talk about it, is that their route concepts for quarterback and receiver, the timing, it has to be right. Like feet, and when I say feet, his dropbacks, right? His feet has to be aligned and timed with the receivers. And now you have to do all that in this condensed space. Guys aren't doing a lot of backing up in the red zone. They're right there because they know that you can't go out the back of the end zone. So I think this week they'll do a better job in improving that. Get the tight ends involved, get the backs involved, but get the receivers involved as well. Design is important in the red zone. It's very important in this red zone. I think they'll get that corrected. Now, for the defense side of things, my thing with the defense is this, and it's kind of always been this, because, no one as a group, it's not Cowboy, but this is across the league. No one talks more than the group of defense. Like that defense is a talking group all the time. Whether it's linebackers or linemen or DBs, they're just a talking group. And my only one thing for this Cowboys defense going forward, led by Micah Parsons, Jaron Kearse, Tank, be historic or hush. That's it. Hush or historic? Historic or hush? I don't need what you got to say in podcasts. I don't need what you got to say in videos. I don't need what you got to say in sounds of the sideline. I don't need none of that. I don't need none of that. Defensively, your pads do the talking. Defensively, your energy does the talking. Defensively, your effort does all the talking. You want to speak loud, you want to speak with volume, you want to speak with authority, shut folks out. That's how you do it. You want to be heard loud and clear? Be historic. You want it to resonate throughout the league and reverberate throughout the league from team to team? Show up on Sunday. I get that at times we may have in life, we'll have setbacks. But now it's be historic or hush. That's it. You can't talk you can't talk about the things that you're going to do and then get in the game and don't do those things. You can't give bulletin board material and then get your butt whooped. That's just the nature of the beast. You can't talk with a big stick and walk with a switch. Your walk gotta match your talk. But if your pads is thumping and you doing what you're supposed to do, you ain't gotta say a word. It's gonna be known this is what we are. See, when you get into that whole talking thing, to me, it's like the small dude who drives the big truck. No offense to my short kings out there. I love y'all. Shout out to the short kings that are watching this. To all my 5'7" and 5'8" and under guys. But when y'all go get those big trucks, y'all be tripping. Y'all be mad little and the wheels be this big and y'all gotta hop. Never mind. I'm sorry. But shout out to my short kings. I love y'all. But when you gotta do all this talking and all this hype videos and all that kind, you compensate for something. Don't talk like you swinging and then you come up short. She not gonna like that. If you're gonna be a dog on defense, just be a dog. Just be a personal story. One thing I love about my dog, I have a 15-month-old Cane Corso named Mamba. And Mamba, he a dog. Mamba's a dog. But what I love about Mamba, when we take these walks, Mamba, there's these certain dogs. There's a pit bull. There's some other dogs. And when we take our walks, Mamba doesn't concern himself with the barking dogs behind the fence. Like he's not barking, but he's walking with a level of confidence, and he's like his hackles are up, but he's like, I'm not barking with y'all. I'm not barking with y'all. Cause if you come on the other side of that fence, you're gonna know that my bite is far greater than your bark. And I love that about him. When we walk, he walks with a level of confidence, and it's just, he don't play. He don't play. A dog got loose one time on our walk, and Mamba didn't bark or nothing. That dog got close enough, and Mamba, he was this close from getting him. That dog took off running. I dropped the leash. Listen, what you want me to do? I'm not promoting violence, but it's a 130-pound Cane Corso. I don't know what this stray German Shepherd's going to do. So I dropped the leash. Be that. Be Mamba. Be Mamba. You don't got to do all that talking. Be historic or hush. Hush or be historic. That's what you have to be defensively. And I think that they have, I think this team has, I know Mike is the Lion, but he's also one of the biggest talkers on this team. And for the most part, he's backed it up. He's absolutely backed it up for the most part, but you got to be consistent. You know, the talks have been kind of, it's always, we live in this era in all sports, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, football. Anytime somebody's really good, the moment, what we want to do, compare it to the GOATs. Compare it to, he's Wayne Gretzky. Oh, man. Oh, look at that swing. Ken Griffey Jr. Pump the brakes. He can jump, I'm telling you, man, Michael Jordan. And, of course, with Micah, really good player, excellent player, one of the best defensive players in the league. He's jumbled in that mix. I told y'all the other day, he's jumbled in the mix. He ain't out there by himself no more. You know, and they want to compare him to Lawrence Taylor. Oh, by the way, it's a Tar Heel. People forget that about Lawrence Taylor. People forget that Lawrence Taylor went to North Carolina. Go Heels. I know where I stand on that. This greatness come out of Chapel Hill. You know what I'm saying? But Bill Belichick was like, I like Micah. Micah's good. Micah's great. I don't put anybody in that category with just Lawrence Taylor. Sometimes you got to just let the greats live in their own space. Like Dion would say, like, don't put my bus on the same bus with some of these other jokers. I think Lawrence Taylor, if there was a bus, like if there was a bus wall in Canton, like it would be LT, it would be Jerry Rice, it would be Dion, it would like this the elite of the elites. And I think Mike is great, but 3 years in, you can't. He's great. I love Micah. And I wasn't old enough to really enjoy or really appreciate what Lawrence Taylor was, but I mean, thank God for YouTube. And those who have been around this game long enough will tell you LT was just a different dude. I get a chance to hear the stories from alum. LT was just a different dude. And Bill says it. Bill goes, listen, nothing. Micah, love him. Great. Would love to have him on my team. But Bill was there. Bill was there up close, literally hands-on. That was his guy. That was his dude. He was the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach for Bill Parcells back in those LT days with the Giants. So when Bill says it, I believe it. I know he's probably a little bit biased, but Bill's an honest dude. And I think Micah has the potential to be great. He has to put in a body of work. I think LT was the last player that was non-offensive and quarterback to win the MVP of the league. 86? 86. Look at me being a football historian. Look at me knowing some football facts. Three-time Defensive Player of the Year. The last non-offensive quarterback player, I think, who wins MVP besides the quarterback, right? Most of the time. But the last non-offensive player to win it was LT. Think about that for a second, guys. That's high praise. But the Cowboys, they have to bounce back. I think bounce back is in them. The one thing I do not believe or trust, I know I said this last week, I think Mac Jones is boo-boo juice. I think he's gooch juice. 300-pound dude, sweaty day in Texas. Gooch juice, bad. I just don't believe in Mac Jones. I don't. I don't. I don't think really Bill believes in Mac Jones. But the one thing I do know, offensively, for the Patriots, they're going to check underneath the hood to see if the Cowboys corrected their wrongs from a week ago. They're going to see, you know what, did they get this whole run fit thing figured out? Because the Cardinals ran for 225 yards. We're going to see if they got this thing figured out. Because they're going to test every single opportunity they have up front. And I hope the Cowboys took what happened to them last week personal. Especially those guys up front. Mozzie, Hankins, Osa, Golston, Fowler, Lawrence, Sam Williams, Micah Parsons. Dan Quinn famously says it is a privilege to pass rush, simply meaning you got to stop the run first to get to a passing down. Then you have the privilege of going to get the passer. Then you have the privilege of going to get a sack party. But you got to stop the run first. Cowboy didn't do a good job with that last week. I am almost confident, 100% confident, that the Patriots will check underneath the hood. They're going to check the temperature. They're going to see if you figured it out. 225. They like, listen, we don't need 225 yards, but we can get 200. We can get 180. That's a dominating run performance. They're going to check. I hope and I know Dan Quinn and I know others, they've all talked about it this week. They want to be better. They have to be better. But we're going to see. You can tell me all day in print and in the media and on podcasts and on videos and on shorts and all that kind of stuff. 53 and a third by 100. That's when you can show me. You can reestablish yourself. You can reestablish your dominance in the league. You can put yourself back in the conversation of being a historic defense. With their historic output this weekend. If not, you gotta hush. You gotta hush. Spoil goes to the victor. In order to beat the man, you gotta beat the man. When you lose, there ain't much room for you to talk. This week has to be about the pads. I hope that's a message that's echoing throughout the locker room, both offensively and defensively. If you want to talk, you got to win. If not, hush. Zip it up. We'll do some more preview on Friday. I'll give you my predictions on Friday about this game. But I like the Cowboys. I'm not afraid of the Patriots. But I also now I'm looking at the Cowboys and go, what team is going to show up? What team is actually going to show up? Should be interesting. There's a lot riding on this game for a lot of people, because everybody was bad last week. Coaching. Oh, and by the way, this is one of those games where we don't talk much about special teams, but you better be on your P's and Q's when it comes to Bill Belichick and special teams. He blocked the punt in the game because he saw something just with the holder. The holder was in camp with the Patriots a year ago, and they picked up on his head nod. They had a guy come in motion. They blocked it. Don't play around with Bill Belichick and special teams. That is an area where a lot of people don't think about. He takes that area very seriously. Very, very seriously. Very seriously. And that could be the determining factor of a game. Field position, turnovers, returns. All that hitting yards that we don't talk about a lot of times comes in special teams. So don't fall asleep on Bill Belichick and company when it comes to that. All right, we'll get to the more Pats Cowboys preview. They play this Sunday, 3:25 at AT&T Stadium. I'll have more about that on Friday or Saturday whenever we do our next show, episode 18. But right now, we're going to go around the sports world. And breaking news of the day, NBA. Dame Lillard is going to Milwaukee. Dame Lillard has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo has finally got his true number 2. This is a big win for Giannis. I don't know if this is it's a win for Dame, but it's not a win for Dame. It's a win for Giannis. I think Giannis wanted to stay in Milwaukee. He did. But Giannis kind of put pressure on the ownership, kind of came out this season and was saying, hey, I need to see if they're really serious before I take my extension and really make this my long-term home. And front office showed up. They said, Giannis, we went and got you a superstar. We went and got you a top player in the league. So Giannis wins. Giannis is a guy who's competed in the East, won a championship, and it's kind of really been a one-man show. Had some good supporting roles with Middleton and Drew Holiday and Portis and Lopez. But for the most part, it's been the Giannis show. And we've realized now in this league, this is a 2-star league. It's sometimes 2 stars and a half type league. The days of it being 1 star and a bunch of co-stars, those days are done. If you want to truly compete and win championships, your team must be assembled with others, but it got to be led by 2 stars, 2 all-stars. Milwaukee got a second all-star. Dame Lillard leaving Portland. He put a rap song out. You can go find that rap song. Not my cup of tea, Dame Lillard rapping, but to each their own. To each their own. Got a nice flow. 2 Compensation, the Portland Trailblazers will receive Drew Holiday, DeAndre. This is a 3-team trade, by the way. So when you hit his name, like, wait a second. There's a three-team trade between the Phoenix Suns, Milwaukee Bucks, and the Portland Trailblazers. Portland, of course, will receive. Portland is giving up. Milwaukee will receive Dame Lillard. Portland will receive Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns, and Toumani Camara. The Bucks will also get the 2029 unprotected first-round pick, and they'll swap picks in 2028 and 2030. The Suns get Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, go Heels, and Keon Johnson. I think that's good depth that the Suns needed to go around what they have now in Brad Beal and Devin Booker. But this is a win for Milwaukee. I think Dame is happy to be out of Portland. I think Dame will make the best of the situation with Giannis in Milwaukee. I don't think Dame is 100% happy, though. I just don't. I jokingly said on Twitter, I said, Dame was thinking about wearing chanclas in December. Now you got to wear Timberland boots. Like, Dame was thinking about what jet skis I'm going to buy. Now he got to buy snowmobiles. Like, Dame wanted to be in Miami. He made that very clear. I want to be in Miami. He said it on multiple occasions. I guess he said it without saying it, but he wanted to be in Miami. Now, who really screwed their team, and it's odd because historically he's been very, very good on assembling teams, getting the players in there. Pat Riley, boy, did you fumble this bag? This was a bag that was made personally for you. Now, I don't know all the behind-the-scenes things about what was compensation, but I mean, there is nobody that outside of Bam and Jimmy that was worth keeping that wouldn't have gotten you Dame. Like Duncan Robinson, hey, man, God bless you, brother. You got to go. Tyler Hero, God bless you, bruh. You got to go. Old Thickums, Pauls, Kyle Larry, you got to go, bruh. Like, you what draft picks? You can have them. I want to win right now. I want to win right now. And I think old Pat Riley, who's usually good at this, who's usually a good deal maker, failed. He failed Jimmy. He failed Spo. He failed Bam. He failed the Miami Heat Nation. This was a tailor-made trade for you. Now, I know there may have been some other things that are involved because Portland probably was going to play hardball and, we're not going to give Dame everything he wants. But you were supposed to make this deal, Pat. Like, this was a deal you were supposed to make. You were supposed to wheel and deal, find a third team like they did. I don't know whether it was. Maybe it would have been Dallas. Who knows? But you were supposed to find another team. You were supposed to make this work for the Miami Heat. Now, I'm not saying that you might have some other things in your plan, but reports have been that you kind of were a little bit slow. Whenever you got around to it, got off the golf course, got off the yacht in Biscayne Bay, Key West, that you're slow getting back to the Portland Trailblazers. Again, I think Dame will make it work in Milwaukee. I think him being with another superstar like Giannis. Giannis is a superstar. Giannis is the top 3 player, 4 player, 2, 1. Wow. 1, 2. Okay. I'm not mad at that. Giannis top 1, 2, 3. Up for debate. We can debate it another day. But I think adding Dame, and I think those two, and I think they fit. I think for what they want to do, they fit. I think right now, high screen pick and roll with Dame and Giannis, you want to back off? We all know Dame will shoot it from 70 feet. He open when he get in the parking lot. He got that Steph Curry range. You try to blitz him with a double team, he passes off to Giannis. It's one step from the three-point line for him. On your head top. Or when he gets in that wing and he gets to do his thing, Dame is setting up on the other wing. So I think this combination will work. I think it will. Now, what sucks for the NBA, and this has kind of been a thing for the NBA the last couple, maybe 5 to 10 years, is predictability. Predictability. One of the main reasons the NFL kind of trumps all other sports in North America is the parity. It's the parity. It's the every week matters. It's the you really don't know who's going to make a playoff run. Teams change 40 to 50% of their roster every single year. The parity is spread out across the board. When you think about this right now, you think about, well, we know who's going to win we know who's going to the Eastern Conference Finals. It ain't New York Knicks. It ain't the Chicago Bulls. It ain't the Charlotte Hornets. It ain't the Wizards. Maybe it's Philadelphia, maybe, but, I mean, they always come up short in the playoffs. It's going to be Boston and Milwaukee. Book it. That's who's going to be in Eastern Conference Finals. So getting people to tune in through those other parts of the year and get excited about your brand, well, we already know what it's going to be in the East. We know that when it comes down to the come down, it's going to be Milwaukee, because they have the two best players in the East, and Boston. They have the other two best players that play together in the East. So that kind of kills your game a little bit. It does. It kills the game a little bit. The predictability is there. So I don't know if I want to tune in all the time. Because I know, especially the East. The West is a little bit different. I think the West is a little bit more, there's a little more parity in the West. A little bit more. Of course, Lakers are always going to be in the conversation. Is it the Heat? I'm sorry, is it the Suns? Is it Dallas? The defending champions? Denver Nuggets? There's a little bit more parity in the West. But for the East, you can book it. You can book it. Those two teams are going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. One or two of those teams will play in the NBA Finals. Against the Golden State Warriors or the Suns or the Lakers or the Nuggets or one of the other 4 or 5 or 6 teams that can possibly win in the West. So, big trade. I like it. I don't. I'm not a huge big Dame Lillard fan, but I like Dame Lillard. Like, I like his game. I think these two together are going to work well. Does that mean Giannis have to give up one of those roster spots that his brother has? Giannis, stop, man. Your brother's got to go, bro. Like, let me say this though. I'm all for what you do, Giannis. It's no different than that. Like, that's another level of nepotism. If I'm the best player in the world, and I got control like that, yeah, man, employ my brothers, bro. Like, two roster spots. That's all right. You pushing it, bro. Like, one was fine. You got both of them there. That's crazy. That's nasty work right there by you, Giannis. But shout out to you, putting some bread in your brother's pocket so they don't have to ask you for nothing. And then y'all tight-knit family, so they all probably live at your house, or at least on the wing of your house, so they probably save on rent and all that kind of stuff. So I ain't mad at you, Giannis. If I had that opportunity, I'll put my brothers in there too. Talking about opportunities in business, ooh, I love me a good business proposition. I love a good business move. And Travis Kelce, I told y'all. Travis Kelce and this Taylor Swift situation, it's big business, man. This big business. This is big business. Travis Kelce had Taylor Swift swing by the game last week. And if you think it ain't big business, and you think that Travis Kelce did not make a business decision, boy, do I have some news for you. Let me tell you what happened when old Taylor Swift showed up to the game last Sunday. Chiefs-Bears, where the Chiefs absolutely dominated the Bears. They got their own issues that happening in Chicago. But this game actually stopped being about the actual football game. It started being about Taylor Swift. Now, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Travis. I love a good business proposition. I'm all for winning. However you got to win as long as it's morally correct. If it's immoral, then I'm out. But if it's moral, win. Win all day. But y'all told me, oh, Jess, you hating. They could really be in love. They could really like the chemistry and all that kind of stuff. Please. This big business, y'all. Since Taylor Swift showed up to the Bears-Chiefs game on Sunday. Oh, and it's already been reported. Chiefs play the Jets on Monday Night Football this week. Taylor Swift will be in attendance. She'll be there. And Sunday Night Football. She'll be there. But when she showed up to the game on Sunday, 400% spike in Travis Kelce jerseys. Now, Travis Kelce will probably go down at the end of this whole thing before Taylor Swift, if not the greatest tight end to ever play football, top 2 or 3. Record-wise, receptions, touchdowns, yards, and Super Bowls, he'll be in that conversation. So it wasn't like he needed help selling jerseys. It wasn't like he needed help with his name to be out there. People know who Travis Kelce is. 400% spike in Travis Kelce jerseys. The Kelce is his brother Jason, who's the center for the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a podcast. Guess whose podcast was #1 overall on Apple? The Kelce's podcast. Overnight, Travis Kelce added 385,000 Instagram followers. In a 3-hour, once they showed her on the game in a 3-hour span overnight, they added 383,000 Instagram followers to Travis Kelce. You want to know how many viewers watched the game? 24.3 million people watched the game. It was the #1 watched game. The #1 Chiefs Bears. That ain't a game. That ain't a game that you all highlight that you want to watch. Maybe Burrow versus Mahomes. That's a good game you want to watch. Burrow versus Herbert. That's a good game you want to watch. Miami versus the Chiefs. That's a good game you want to watch. Chiefs Bears. The #1 watch game. This is where it's big business for the National Football League. 63% jumped in female viewership from 18 to 49. The Swifties have shown up. The Swifties are watching football. The Swifties are like, what's cover 2? Who's a tight end? That quarterback's cute. All the Swifties showed up. There was a 3-time increase in the Chiefs search on the web. All the Swifties was like, wait a second. What are the Chiefs? Who are the chefs? The Kansas City Chefs? Is Travis Kelce a cook? I don't see him with Gordon Ramsay. They were searching. A three-time increase in Chiefs sales on StubHub. Yesterday's price is not today's price. The ticket sales went up. The Swiftie said, if she gonna be there, we gonna be there. If Tay-Tay is in attendance, we in attendance. Chiefs sold more tickets in a single day since the start of the season. So after that game, she showed up. It got crunk. And now, here's also why I say that it's a business move. And I'm only going by history. Don't know Travis. Don't know Taylor Swift. Please, Swifties, do not come at me. If you want to add more followings, Unfiltered with Jesse Holley, Mr. Fourth and Long, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow me. But Swifties, don't come after me. But here's why I also said the numbers say it's a business decision. Now, I'm not Cupid. I'm not here to interfere with Cupid. But I just have a feeling Cupid doesn't have an arrow. He got a money gun. You know that gun with the money at the strip club? Like, Cupid is doing this. Cupid. I got some ones. This is what Cupid is doing. I got some ones. Cupid said, that's what Cupid said. Cupid ain't shooting an arrow. Cupid got the money gun. Why do I have all these ones in my pocket? Don't ask me why I have these ones. But that's what Cupid said. Because Travis Kelce, I don't know Travis Kelce. I'm just going by the history. You do a little Google search over Travis history's life. You look at Travis Kelce's last 4 girlfriends / flings / situationships. And then you look at Taylor Swift. Which one of these things are not like the others? The last 4 situationships, I'm not going to call them girlfriends. I'm going to call them situationships that Travis Kelce had, they all look like me. And I don't mean men. I mean black. All of them. They fine too. But they brown like me. They brown like me. They chocolate. They were thick too. They were thick like cold oatmeal. Thick like Sunday newspapers. Thick like a 2nd grade crayon. They didn't look like Swiftie. So all I'm saying is, history for Travis Kelce said, I like mine a little brown, a little thick. Maybe he had to change your heart. And that's all respectable. But it's a good move. It's a good move for everybody. It's a good move for Swiftie. She now has a new football audience. It's a great move for football and for Travis. Because contrary to some people's belief, football, while it's the most popular North American sport, there are a demographic of people who do not watch football. There are a lot of people who there are some men who don't watch football. There are a ton of women, 18 to 49, they just showed you, that know of football, but couldn't tell you if Tom Brady threw a baseball, shot a basketball, or bowled. They couldn't tell you who Michael Parsons was. They definitely couldn't tell you who Travis Kelce was before Sunday. But because they came from that world of the Taylor Swiftness, all the eyes are now on NFL football. You got a bunch of more people watching the game. Great for the game. The NFL ain't mad. The NFL want Taylor Swift to come to all the games now. Come on, Taylor. If you're going to bring in a 63% increase of people from 18 to 49 females, yeah, we want more. If you're going to help us sell more jerseys, we want more. They trying to find more stars. Who else? Beyonce's taken, so she's probably the only other biggest female star that. But what other audience can we bring in? The NFL's all about printing money. They don't care. They might give Taylor Swift the suite in New York for free. Now, she don't need to pay for it. I mean, most rich people in this world, just FYI, yeah, some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know this. Most rich people in this world are rich because they don't pay for anything. One of the perks that I miss from playing in the National Football League is all the free stuff that people gave me. And you would think, you're making great money, you should pay for it yourself. Nah, they want to give it to me for free, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to take it. But you bet your bottom dollar, Sunday night, I'm sure if we looked at it, I'm sure there's some prop bets already out there on How many times will the camera pan to Taylor Swift? How many times will the announcer say something about Taylor Swift, excuse me? Will the outro or intro to the game be a Taylor Swift song? What color will Taylor Swift wear? The Kansas City, there was a picture of Taylor Swift with chicken tenders on a plate with ketchup and ranch. The Kansas City Chiefs had to put in an extra order of ranch for the stadium in anticipation that more people are going to want ketchup and ranch with their chicken tenders. It's a huge impact. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at old Trav. But don't try to tell me Trav is about love. Trav love. There's a lot about business. Trav trying to set himself up for after the game is over. He's entered the new space now. It's reflected in everything he did. He was a popular football player. Now you're getting to the place where you're a popular human. That's different. That's different. Travis Kelce, in all of his playing days, never had to sneak out of the stadium, of his own stadium. Never had to go through the kitchen and through the back door to the basement to a getaway car. Never once in Travis Kelce's career did he have to rent out an entire restaurant, shut the whole restaurant down, just to have family dinner. Never once until now. It's a big business move, and I like it. I like it, Trav. And Swifties, and while y'all don't know about football and probably don't even care about football, here's how y'all are going to win. Okay? Because this is a business move. And it will end. It will end. They ain't getting married. They ain't going to start out right off into the sunset with kids, and it ain't happening. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I know, Jay Holley, you're a hater. Cool. But when they break up and Swifty's feeling a little down, guess what? She gets in the booth. You get a banger. I don't know many Taylor Swifts. I don't know any Taylor Swift songs. But I do know Heartbreak. And when most singers have their heart broken, they break up, relationship issues, they put out bangers. You're welcome. Swifties. Banger is coming. I don't know when, but a banger is coming your way. Maybe top of the year, maybe spring 2024. Don't know. But just know that you got like 2 or 3, you got a little EP coming. You got a little 2 or 3 songs where she gonna get back in her bag and she gonna sing her heart out and you're gonna benefit from it. So this is a part of the business move for you as well. Everybody eats. I love a business move where everybody profits from it. I profit because I got a story. You profit because you get to listen to my story. NFL profits. Travis Kelce profits. Taylor Swift profits. Chiefs profit. Everybody. Everybody profits. Swifties, y'all gonna get a fire song in a little bit. Everybody profits. So, to Travis, to Taylor, best of luck to you. I wish you nothing but the best. Love each other. Care for one another. Make all the bread y'all can make in this deal. It's all right. It's cool. It's a business decision, though. Make them think about it. Another business decision. It's the hottest business decision in college football. Still, the Colorado Buffs, Deion Sanders, they got whooped last week. Sure did. I told y'all they got whooped like go get a switch. Like Big Mama and say, go outside, get a switch. Come on back in here. Oregon took them out back. Put hands on them. Put them paws on them. Another big opponent this week. USC. Right now with the Heisman favorite and probably potentially, if he doesn't decide to come back, the number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams. And we were talking about, me and Tay, not Taylor Swift. But we were talking about before the show, will Colorado, let me say this. We were talking about, is Travis Hunter the best non-quarterback in all of football, college football? Non-quarterback. Is there any other player that is better than Travis Hunter in all of football? And I don't know if I have a solid answer to say yes or say no. I think he's in the consideration. And does he mean that much to Colorado, offensively and defensively? I mean, right now they struggle with a half of football without him against Colorado State. They end up winning that game. They got beat to the white meat against Oregon without him. Don't know what's to come against USC. Right now, USC is a 21-point favorite. USC last week played Arizona State. After 3 quarters, the game was 28-21. Now, USC eventually pulled away. The cream rises to the top, and it did in that game. But Arizona State is 1-3. I don't think Arizona State is as talented or more talented than Colorado. So is there a chance that Colorado can hang around with USC? Kind of like they did TCU? Kind of like they did Nebraska and then pull away? Is Travis Hunter that big of a deal? Travis Hunter recently texted Deion Sanders after the shellacking of Oregon. He's like, man, paraphrasing here, basically, what do we got to do to get me back on the field? Listen, I need to practice. I know I got a lacerated liver. I know what the doctor said, but I need to be out there in the field. And Deion was like, yeah, son, nah, I care more about you, the person, than I do this game. So until you're ready to go, until you're medically cleared, I'm not rushing you back on the field. Which I appreciate. And I don't think this is solely a Deion thing. I think most college coaches, I do. I don't think Deion is a step above any other college coach that would look at that kid and say, I sat in your mother and father's or grandmother's or aunt or whoever your guardian is, and I sat in their living room and I told them that I would take care of their baby. I told them that they sent their baby to me, that he would be in good hands. I would like to believe that there are, however many other universities there are in the universe, that most of them, if not all of them, will look at the situation with Travis Hunter and go, son, I love your grit. I love your heart. I love your willingness to want to be a part of this thing. But son, you got a lacerated liver. Not right now. So Deion, that's what he did. I don't think that makes him the greatest head coach in the world. But one thing I did appreciate about Deion, because with the absence of Travis Hunter, what most people don't know is Deion has a 5-star quarterback on his bench, Cromartie McLean. And people asked about him. They said, you said before that the only thing that's keeping Cromartie from playing on the field is Cromartie. And Deion went into depth and said, yeah, I'm not going to play a kid who ain't ready. What does he have to do to get on the field? Come to meetings on time. Come to meetings in general. Study. Understand our scheme. Understand his role and responsibility. Want to be a part of this thing. Watch his film in preparation and prepares like he wants to be on the football field. Until then, I will be a fool to put him on the field. Now, that is one thing that I appreciate. Deion has said this and has walked this, that there is a standard that will be held. And if you can't meet that standard, you won't play. Now that I don't know if all college coaches will do. But then again, all college coaches may not be afforded the luxury that Deion's afforded. If Deion doesn't coach another down in football, he's good. He's been good before he got into coaching football. He lived on what was that? Up in Prosper? He that crib up there was like 5, 6, 8. He's good. Deion's good. But a level of accountability that he's holding to his players, I love to see that. I love it. And he's saying, I'm down arguably the best non-quarterback player in the country. And I have the number one DB, 5-star recruit who will not play until he is ready mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, schematically to play. That I appreciate, because that and I hope that this McClain kid really, and maybe he doesn't right now, maybe it happens 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and he understands just how much that accountability that Deion's trying to instill in him. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But Colorado takes on USC. This is going to be a good weekend. Fights happening this weekend. Canelo, Charlo, USC, Colorado, Cowboys, Patriots. It's a good week. Fantastic week. This week, you will have more than enough sports. Texas taking on 4-0. Texas taking on 4-0 Kansas. The NBA's training camps has jumped off. We are getting into this playoff baseball. Rangers, the magic number is 3. Let's go. Let's go. We're about to get into that sweet spot of the year where you got playoff baseball. The NFL season is in a groove. The NBA will be back. Hockey. Come on, Jay Holley. Let's go. I like this time of the year. That October, November-ish is get funky right there. I get football horny right there. I do. You turn on the TV, every channel is like, oh, it's football, it's football, it's college this, college basketball. Go Heels. My Tar Heels. Let's go Heels. We're getting into that good sweet spot, man. So there'll be more than enough happening that we can report on, talk about for days upon days upon days. But that's it for me, man. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope I made a good business decision. Pick my dollars. Don't pick my dollars up, Tate. I need all my dollars back. I need all of them back, bro. Do not keep your hands where my eyes can see. It's like, nah. Let me pick my bread up first before anybody leave here. I need I know it's a couple dollars. Leave all my money. I need it. My gas light on. I'm going to put $10 in the tank. The residuals ain't kicked in yet. I got $10. I got my gas light on, my check engine light on. You know what I'm saying? I need an oil change. I need all my dollars. Don't touch them. I ain't got the Taylor Swift business decision just yet. But Tay, if after you done with Travis Kelce, if you want to go the reverse route, because all your boo things have been of the Caucasian variety. If you want to go reverse, Tay, after you done with Travis, rinse that thing off. Don't bring it to me after Travis thing got it. Rinse it off. Rinse around and rinse it off. If you want to go the opposite way, get a little chocolate in your life. I'm tall like Travis. I'm probably taller than Travis. I'm thick. I'm brown. You know what I'm saying? Let me help upgrade your situation. You ever ridden in the car with the check engine light on? Nah. Yeah. You ain't got to worry about shutting the restaurant down, because where we and you going, don't nobody know you in there anyway. We can go in there and sit down and eat. They're going to be like, oh, look at Jess with that white girl. That's what they're going to say. They're not going to even know you Taylor Swift where we going. Where we going, they're not going to know you. They ain't going to be no Swifties in there. I promise. So if you want to reverse it and help me out, let's go. You get done with Travis, y'all finish y'all business transaction, then you come to the darker side. See what this life like. See if you about this life. Know what they say. Once you go black, you never go back. What's up, Swift? What's up? What's up? You know what I'm saying? Rinse it off. Come see me after you're done with Travis. See if I can't get my followers up. See if we can't make a business transaction. See if we can't help me get this check engine light off in my car. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, though. No. All right, man. I'm out. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you know Taylor and she get done, holla at me. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 17. Wow. Never in a million years did I think this was going to be happening, but it's happening. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I really do appreciate all of you, man. I love you guys. Remember, never let anyone tell you that their life is better than yours, because it's your life. Eliminate the contingencies. I love you. I'm out.